We will build a great wall along the southern border, and Mexico will pay for the wall.
Tonight, Donald Trump spelling out his immigration plan in a fiery speech in Arizona. Hello and welcome. I'm Veronica Dela Cruz. Night Beat's Andrea Borba joins us now with more on Trump's plan to tackle this hot-button issue. Andrea?
Well, Veronica, his speech included ideological tests for would-be immigrants and a plan of what he would do about immigration in his first hour in office, beginning with deporting 2 million undocumented immigrants with criminal histories. In a highly hyped speech from Phoenix, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump laid out his 10-point immigration plan in what he called a detailed policy address.
Number 4, block funding for sanctuary cities. We blocked the funding. No more funding. We will end the sanctuary cities that have resulted in so many needless deaths.
Trump trotted out family members of those killed by undocumented immigrants for endorsement.
San Francisco.
And not once but twice invoked the name of Kate Steinle, who was shot and killed on Pier 14.
Gunned down in the sanctuary city of San Francisco by an illegal immigrant deported 5 previous times, and they knew he was no good.
While much of the speech was classic Trump on immigration, KPIX 5 political analyst Melissa Cain says there was a small pivot by the candidate on the topic of mass blanket deportations.
Let's crack down on the border, let's deport our criminals, let's do all these other things. But when it comes to families who've been here for generations, who are undocumented, we're going to put off that decision for several years. We're not even going to figure out what we're going to do with them.
The speech came just hours after a meeting with Mexico's president, Enrique Peña Nieto. What began as a foray into foreign policy devolved hours later with disagreement between Nieto and Trump over the candidate's proposed border wall and who would pay for it. Nieto reportedly said Mexico would not pay. Hours later, Trump doubled down and said this.
And Mexico will pay for the wall.
Whatever sort of diplomatic relationship he established with the Mexican president today, I think is fairly out the window with the speech he turned around and gave very soon thereafter.
Now, Trump also said he'd send Kate's Law to Congress for their approval also in hour 1 of his presidency. On the Night Beat, I'm Andrea Borba.
So what was the reaction to the speech tonight? Night Beat's Joe Vasquez spoke with some local Latino leaders. He joins us now. Joe, what did they say?
Well, Veronica, for many Latinos, it still sounded strident. Mr. Trump continues to talk about immigrants and criminals in the same breath. But I talked to a Trump supporter who actually called the speech compassionate.
I'm sure it's going to sound very harsh to many, but our reality is harsh, and we must remedy the big problems.
Leo Lacayo is chairman of the San Francisco Hispanic Republican Association and a Trump supporter.
Mr. Trump said tonight, Mexico will pay for the wall. The president of Mexico today said they're not going to pay for the wall.
What we're saying here is there will be a tax on money sent out of this country, which is in the godzillion billions every year to Mexico. Untaxed money in the way of family remissions that will be taxed, probably around 16%, I calculate. And that 16% will pay for the wall.
Lacayo insists that Trump's policies announced tonight are not the finished product, that they are an opening gambit in a negotiation the Republican nominee would eventually have to have with lawmakers.
And he's talking about getting rid of those people that are negative to this country, that take from this country and destroy and make crime occur here for us.
But he's not saying get rid of the peaceful people.
No, he's saying that people that are productive here have to stay. We know that. That's part of the understanding.
But he didn't say they have to stay. He just didn't say he's going to kick them out.
What he's going to do is negotiate.
Well, according to Trump, all of us Latinos are criminals.
Gabriel Medina is vice president of the San Francisco Latino Democratic Club.
And I think it's really important to, when we're listening to him, listening to his hate speech, to recognize that his values are not supportive of the inclusive American dream that we all came here for.
The Latino Democrats I spoke with tell me Trump has them extremely focused right now, Veronica, on registering voters and getting them to the polls.
And Joe, we understand that Leo Lacayo is also in some legal hot water under investigation for his work with immigrants, right?
Right, yes. The Republican Trump supporter we spoke with, he has worked as an immigrant advocate for decades here in San Francisco, but yesterday the city attorney announced Mr. Lacayo is under investigation for what he called misrepresenting his office, claiming he was an attorney. Lacayo told me he has done no such thing and is fighting that accusation in court.
All right, Joe Vasquez in the newsroom tonight. Joe, thank you.